Hey everyone, welcome to Steele Wars. I am Steele Saunders and I do love Star Wars. And we are here for the Monday night hyper chat. And we have just had 25 minutes of, as you'll soon discover, pretty unsuccessful tech support here by our young tech support, who did a tremendous job, I must say. He really troubleshooted many issues to I don't know, we could overcome the technical difficulties of our other co-hosts. But welcome from the Obi-Wan Kenobi television program, Corey Van Dyke.
Thank you. My fellow Obi-Wan Kenobi television program partner.
And our but he's on the Star Wars website right now. Have you seen this, Corey?
Yeah, I stumbled upon it on accident the other day. I think I told you that I was going through YouTube and it popped up from the Star Wars. Maybe it was the kids Star Wars. I don't know. And it was Sal teaching lightsaber moves, and that really threw me for a loop. I knew about it because Sal, you've told me about it, but that was crazy. That was very, very good.
From the Rogue Rebels, it's Sal Perales.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? I really appreciate the IT support. What I like most is that we had a lot of options, and this was the best one. So everybody's welcome for that.
Yeah.
And then second of all, you guys got to be from the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Can you be the host of Lightsaber Academy? Because that's kind of rad.
I can't.
Dang.
I really can't. Sorry.
It would be. I mean,
at least the tech support was good.
Sal looks like he's going to start demanding Energon soon.
Oh wow! I mean, look, I think if you put me in charge of hosting people in terms of teaching them how to do lightsaber moves, that's kind of a judgment call that I think is iffy, but it could be interesting.
You know, Sal came to Harry's birthday and taught lightsaber moves one year.
I heard about this. Yeah,
it was amazing. I saw your guild mates at the Academy Museum the other night.
I saw you posted some stuff, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's Skywalker Temple over there."
Yeah, it's a great temple. It's a fine temple that they're running. Justin and the crew. Mm-hmm. How was celebration in Japan, Sal?
It was pretty awesome. I got into a lot of the panels. I will say,
did you use your Lightsaber Academy crew pass to get?
I mean, I might have did this a couple of times.
Hey,
about it. But I will say I went to so many panels that this is the first celebration where my butt hurt instead of my feet.
Hey,
wow,
that's a difference.
I think you used the bidet wrong.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Jeez, Sal couldn't get his head around those Japanese toilets.
Yeah.
Surely they must have bidets in every hotel room there.
Oh yeah, it's all next level. You should have seen Axel.
I don't know why we're on this now, but here we are. We got I haven't heard that word for so long. Shills.
Oh wow!
I'm not sure if they're joking or serious, but either way, I'm as amused. I just got to get this out. This tangent, but these Japanese toilets, Corey, they're very special.
I've heard a thing or two about it. Yeah,
I read that there was this player for the Dodgers from Japan, and what swayed him to sign with the Dodgers is they said they'd install those Japanese toilets in the clubhouse, and that was a major reason why he. Probably also the millions of dollars.
Yeah, that would probably be.
But the toilet also factored into it. That's how good those toilets are.
Some priorities. I respect that. That's what. Yeah.
I remember they were heated.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing that took me a while to come around on, because I was like, I don't like that. And everybody else seemed to really like that. And then I just started thinking, and I was like, well, maybe I don't like it because where I come from, when the seat is warm, it denotes something bad.
Right, exactly.
We obviously had it on too hot, and thus your buttock pain occurred.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't
Or
know.
maybe it could have been the solution. I just didn't spend enough time because I was too scared.
I agree with you.
I was
I
like,
think I agree with you. I think the heating is too far. I think I agree with that.
You think it's too far?
I think so. I don't.
Oh, it's just right.
I,
I-
mm, I don't
I
know.
think I came around it by the end, but I think it's our like cultural upbringing that doesn't let us accept the niceties of a warm
Right.
seat.
It's like you just keep thinking it's a trap. This can't be right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
He gets me.
Corey wants a good old fashioned American pie cold
Yeah.
plastic seat.
Yeah.
Like it should be room temperature, whatever the room is.
And
Exactly.
What was your panel moment of the convention?
Probably
They get you-
the
they-
animation.
They get you up there again?
No, it was just me and no cosplay, so no. I got in. I was happy enough. But
The
the animation stuff, like where they were just talking about all the whole history of animation, they announced a new series, which was like pretty cool. You know, but animation in general, they were like talking about Rebels and Clone Wars and everything else, and Tales of the. We got to watch a Tales of the Underworld, the first one,
Right.
which
One tail.
so if you can imagine me sitting in an audience watching that first episode, like that was definitely a moment.
Well, the first time I ever saw Sal was when we were about to watch a episode early. So it's to me, Sal is watching cartoons early.
It's fair.
I'm to the point where like Quinlan Voss and Sal are like one person. I can't. Sometimes it's like when watching anything with Quinlan Voss in it, it's just like that's Sal at all times. So watching that Tales of the Underworld episode was. I don't think I've ever been more excited for another person who loves a character than I was for Sal at that moment, because the Dark Disciples that has been a saga through the years for Sal of trying to.
It still is.
It still is. It's still ongoing. Yeah,
It's still happening.
Hey,
still happening.
Is Quinlan Voss still sitting in Mos Espa or whatever in the Phantom Menace? Is that still canon? What's going on with that?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was he doing there? You should know. You're the
Undercover mission.
Undercover mission.
Yeah. He didn't detect Obi-Wan, nothing like that.
He was
I mean,
undercover.
not Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon.
He was undercover.
Undercover. Probably wouldn't be a good idea to blow his cover like that.
Qui-Gon can be loud as he wants.
Exactly.
Quinlan had to like stay undercover and stay out of the mix and be like, that guy's really loud. They're fighting over frogs. I can't get involved.
And they were.
Qui-Gon has this under control. It's fine.
Yeah.
So why would you want to get involved when you see all that?
Exactly.
I'd be out.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not here for that.
Mm-mm.
That's not my job right now.
All right, let's chat some Andor.
Yeah. The greatest.
How about that massacre? It's one of the best. It's one of my favorites.
Very cheery episode. Very uplifting.
That's good stuff. The whole season's been solid. The whole show has been solid, but these last couple were definitely something special. And then it rolls right into Rebels. Beautiful.
Yes.
Chef's kiss.
It does. Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
It's been insane.
Yeah.
Like I never normally care, and this is like the one thing about one of the reasons I heard, and maybe you guys can agree or deny, is one of the reasons they did it so compacted was so it fitted in with some Emmy nomination qualifications. Is that Corey's half nodding?
Yeah, there was, because I think the cutoff date for the Emmys is like the end of May. So but I also think from how Tony Gilroy's talked about it, it seems like they did want this like 3-episode format.
No,
Regardless, I don't know. the way he talks about it is, or well, no, you had said that he had said that this was a Disney Plus thing. So
Yeah, like they make them in blocks of 3,
right.
but they didn't expect them to be on the same night. That was like a Disney thing. But my one, so because it's I think just obviously I want it spaced out. Do you know what I mean? I think what will we be up to now? We'll be up to
4th episode.
Yeah,
like 4. Yeah.
What happened in the 4th episode? That's after the wedding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first one of the going to Gore. Have you ever been to Gorman?
Right.
Oh yeah. With the yes. So my one silver lining for it to compacted, if one of the things is for it to be in the Emmys, the one silver lining to it, and sort of I pray for Star Wars, is that it does win a lot of awards, or some. And those executives, they love awards. They love them.
They sure do. Yeah.
So then they'll want to pay for more exquisite, rich Star Wars, because just the sets.
Yeah, everything about it. These 3 episodes were like, to me, since we talked about this last week, but like after just seeing Revenge of the Sith, and that sort of that tragedy of the whole story with that, and then seeing this was like to me, it's like almost like on par with the fact that the feeling it gave me after Revenge of the Sith is always like, dang, this is so sad, but this is such a good story. And I feel like that's what Andor did for those 3 episodes, where like the emotions in there, just even like what we were talking about last week with like Bix, and like the concern that maybe she would die like a couple minutes before Rogue One, stuff like that. But I love this tragic story, and as Cassian or as Diego Luna talks about it, like at the root of all of it being love, and how like Bix leaves so that Cassian can continue on this journey. What powerful stuff! It's so good. I think that this is like some of my favorite Star Wars. These 3 episodes in particular that we've ever gotten.
I think there's really something special with just like how the story keeps going back to like what inspires people to fight or to need to or whatever. Yeah. Like even going back to the first season, you have this kid who's just trying to get by, and then he sort of gets into the Aldani thing just to make a buck. Yeah. That ends up inspiring his mother.
Right.
And then he ends up getting in prison, and that whole escape, he's able to see how people inspire each other by meeting Kino, and like that also changes. Like then he's inspired by the way that his mother was, but when he makes it back, his mother's gone, but her speech inspires the whole town, the whole planet, or whatever. And like now he's over here, and he's like part of it, but he's still like, it's almost like he's one foot. He believes in the cause, but he also knows the realities of what these things take. Like, these like the Gormans are like, hey, we're gonna steal the weapons, and then everybody will know that they're weapons, and like that's not. And he's like, you're not gonna. They're just gonna gun you down. Like, they think weapons is gonna make them fight better. He thinks they're not ready for the fight they're starting, and like they're both kind of wrong, because of what's really happening is that whole fight and massacre is what inspires a real leader to say something to to call the galaxy out. And start leading for real.
Right.
Like, and I love the way that plays out, because, we've seen it time and time again through history.
Yeah.
And it's sick.
I think also...
sorry. It's sort of weird that Luthen and the Emperor both wanted that massacre to happen.
Yeah, I think... Luthen, that's kind of why I love Luthen's character, is because he's like the darker side of the rebellion that unfortunately like knows what, like the Emperor like knows what will happen if certain things.
Yeah, but I think I feel like they're almost opposites, because the Emperor doesn't think that anything can stop them.
Right.
He's doing the massacre so they can get at the pieces to build his toy.
Yeah.
Luthen knows that if this happens, that's going to inspire more worlds, and that'll help them in the long run. You know what I mean? Like, the Emperor doesn't think this is going to help them in the long run. He thinks this is going to piss a few people off, but they're just going to blow up a planet about it, and everything's going to be fine. You know,
one of the best shots or transitions.
No. But he wants it to happen so they can take over the planet. Like that, he wants that to like it's sort of like a false flag. It's like, hey, they attacked us, so now we have to install martial law and like it's an escalation. It gives him an excuse to be like meaner.
But even that escalation, he thinks will end when they subjugate these people. He's going to be like, oh, see, they shot at us, and so we had to destroy the planet or whatever.
Yeah.
And he thinks that's the end of it, not realizing that story is going to inspire many more worlds.
Oh, yeah.
To also rise up. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that the Emperor never gets. He's like, I'm shocking your boy right here. There's nothing you're going to do about it. Not realizing that eventually it's going to be too much.
He also didn't get moisturizing.
That's true. He didn't see a lot of sun, to be fair.
No, he sure didn't. I think one of the most powerful moments, it's very subtle, but it's when the senator from Gorman is being let out, and he's saying this could be, this is going to be your people next, and he's the warning, and then it transitions right to Bail Organa, and then obviously what happens to him and his people. But that was crazy. It's like subtle things like that they do in the show that makes it so unique.
Well, what about the thing of like just the conversation that at the time seemed pretty like at the wedding? Was it the wedding or is it the art? It was at the art show where Luthen's like, and he finds out that Mon's assistant's like from Naboo and like, and then like that's when he recruited him. Is like sort of finds out his past.
Oh, right.
Sort of goes, there's some, he'd probably, because he sort of, I don't know, whatever the politics is of how he was like, their family was sort of refugees or something. And Luthen's sort of like, and then, you jump forward a year and it's, he's a little agent. Yeah.
I love, I recognized his name when he's introduced in the first couple of episodes. So I was already like, this is that dude in Rebels. Because he's in the episode with Mon Mothma, he's like her attaché or whatever.
Yeah, that's insane.
So I already knew it was him. And I was already like, okay, let me see, how are we going to get this to Phoenix? Or every time he came up, I was like, okay, he works for Luthen. Interesting. And it just kind of kept. And then when there was the whole mistrust thing, when Mon Mothma finds out, and then she doesn't trust, and she doesn't know who to trust. That was pretty cool too. And then I was like, wait a minute. Well, I know she ends up over here. You know what I mean? So she ends up trusting him eventually, but there's that wild chance of okay, are you gonna turn? Are you gonna go with the bad guys who I know are bad because they just killed somebody? That was pretty exciting. That was the Senate, all of that episode. That was rad, dude.
Well, it was just it was so dynamic and so much tension and just and I don't know, just have all that stuff is happening out the back of the Senate that we know, and it was so sick, and it was sort of pretty interesting just to see the day-to-day, the senators all walking around out the back and going through the security, like that was super cool. But yeah, it was really for something that we knew was going to work out, it was quite a tense watch.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially episode 8 a masterpiece completely, but I think episode 9 is my favorite episode of Andor so far.
The Rise of Skywalker.
It's wow, what a difference, huh? What a difference. That really threw me. Yes, really just the tension and like what Sal was saying earlier, the connection to Rebels too, and the I don't know. First off, also like what's his name? Benjamin Bratt. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
This Bail Organa is insane. Like last week we were talking about how it'll be interesting to see how he can do it, and he's like, I want to see more of his Bail. That's how good I think it was.
It was great. He like that. He carries that role.
Yeah,
like in the same, like they have that same energy. I do like that.
I just can't take people seriously that are complaining about the changing cast. Like, it's just like obviously they wanted him and they're on good terms with him, and it just didn't work out. So, like, do you know what I mean? It's a pretty like the guy Benjamin
he's
Bratt
important for the story,
doing a good job of it. Yeah, he is important. So it's
you
sort of
need
just,
that character. I mean, I wonder what people are. I mean, it's a little bit of a different thing, but like, I as we go into Ahsoka season 2, we're also going to have another recast situation too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For different reasons, but like, I think the idea that these like characters, you know, the actor of course always brings something special, but I think Benjamin Bratt did a good job as Bail. I think there's a world out there where he could be a totally fine Bail. You know, but like, if I think he should fill in every time the other two can't make it.
Exactly.
You know,
like, if it was for something less good, then I'd be like, you know, like it's not just like a cameo of the week. It is like, it would be a major misstep to not have him involved in these crucial moments. The fact that, do you know what I mean? He's in like the
that's what I was saying. Like,
and
the character is important to have in this story in this moment. Like, and when you just can't get the dude because he's busy, like, that's a tough decision. But yeah, if he was just, we just need him to like walk by and say hello, man, or like, like, you can let that one go. Just have somebody else do it. What's up, Mazamita?
Exactly. Where is he? That's what I want to know.
Hey,
you can put that makeup on anybody.
I just got to hit the chat, and now Johnny G. No one tell him. Don't spoil it for him. But his comment is, need to see Bix find Cassian when they win.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I thought about that. Like, I think, like, I kind of think of the whole show as, it's weird, but I've been thinking about this in season 1. It's a little bit like he's this spy under whatever he is, but like he had a home, like for real, a home. And he came from like a family that had a home.
Johnny G says, if you haven't seen Rogue One, will the end of Andor make sense? Johnny, have you seen Rogue One or not?
It's not, he spells it with a W.
It's not. No, it's not Johnny Grasso. It's a different one.
Okay. But I always think about like who's gonna be, like, I was like, well, maybe like for me, back when season 1 ended, I was like, the perfect ending would be something where the Bix, Willman, and Brasso all go back to, there you go. I don't know if they're gonna be able to find it, but they all go back to Ferrix and like have that story. Now it's looking like they might have 2 bricks. But I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I do think about that. I like that idea that they get to go home someday.
I think we'll see a post-credit scene. I have a feeling since they did it last season. Maybe not, but I feel like, you know, the show itself ends the way that they talk about a couple minutes before Rogue One. But I could see an after-credit scene of Bix having a moment, or
no.
Oh,
giving birth.
Giving birth. What? Oh, well. I mean, could she just have the baby already? Could it, like, what
2 years out.
Oh yeah, it'll be in a year. So
okay.
Wait. Yeah, it's only going to be a year, so the baby would just be new.
Yeah, new baby.
Hey, listen, Corey. I know a lot about babies.
Okay. All right, so
nobody knows where to go with that.
I took the next best option. Okay, so she has a baby. Is because I see that's a big popular
Canon.
fan theory right now, is that she's pregnant, but I kind of don't think so. Maybe though, who knows?
You think the Alliance were pretty comprehensive with their their contraception? They had like you could just go into the mess tent at Yavin 4 and get some
No.
contraceptives, or
I feel like probably not. No, not at all.
what about that villa they're living in?
I know they got the suite. Like
to me, it's like the most unrealistic thing about the entire series is how nice their house is.
it's amazing. I want to live there.
Okay, but it's nice in a like, yeah, okay. It's not like opulent in any way.
It looks like it would be very expensive on Airbnb. Space
Exactly.
Airbnb.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But Airbnb's for suckers.
It is now. It used to be. There was a golden age. It was
a golden
good.
age. Yeah.
Like anything.
They got the deluxe suite of Yavin. Like everyone is like living in like barracks and they look like they're all hurt.
Yeah, but they're good with their tools and with their hands, so they might like be able to upgrade their like regular suite to like deluxe and build it out. They're like, hey man, let's put some plants over here. You know, Andor's mom had a real green thumb. She had plants all over her place. They got an eye for decor.
Exactly.
Dude,
they can take that 3-star and knock it up to a 5-star.
The rest of them are like at war, and they're in Bali. Like it's
again with his like
so
1 foot in, 1 foot out. He's like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna leave me while I go back to my bungalow.
Yeah,
and make this decision.
Now it's just his.
What about when Val called out? Is it Melchi's blaster? Is that because it's from the prison planet?
I don't remember the one he gives him on the prison planet, but that's the one. It looked like the one that Cassian has in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Because remember, it's like a blaster, and then he puts all the sniper stuff on it. Like, that's not what he's using right now. He's using the Briar, but I don't know which one he gave Melchi on that planet. He did give him a blaster, but I don't know which one it was. I don't remember.
That might be it. Yeah.
But why did
I don't remember having that one yet?
No, you're right. It was like a.
I feel like I would have remembered it if it's the one from Rogue One.
Yeah.
So I don't think I think that's the first time I saw it.
Chapman in the chat has said why it was special. It was Cyril's blaster he had with him on the heist. Okay. Wait, so he got Cyril's blaster.
He held that fool up.
And then he took that on the heist of Aldani.
Well, he wasn't. Wait, hold on.
So Sam's saying it's the Corpo gun he took from Cyril. I don't remember how he got a gun from Cyril, or a blaster, I should say.
When did they even have a scene together?
He held him up, remember? He finds him on Ferrix when they're like, Cyril's like looking for him, and him and like Luthen hold him up, and he's like, get down on the floor. Tell me your like, how many are you?
Yeah.
And remember, Luthen's like, just kill him.
Yeah. Okay.
And he doesn't kill him. And that's what sets Cyril off on the whole, I need to hunt down this guy who embarrassed me.
Gotcha.
How'd that go for you?
I thought they meant Melchi was holding.
No, they're saying that Andor Cassian took Cyril's blaster, and then he had with him in Aldani. And then he took it to Niamos where he got arrested. Then it was still in his hotel room, and he went back.
Got it. Okay.
And so
we're good. We're good.
But she recognizes it from when Andor had it on Aldani. Is that?
I don't think that's the one that I was looking at. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong blaster. But I recognize the one from Rogue One. But I don't remember the one that he took from Cyril.
I don't care about Rogue One right now. I want to know why Val found the blaster interesting.
Well, no, because it might be
the writing on it
from Rogue One. The one that, I see what you mean.
No, but she hasn't seen Rogue One. It hasn't.
she has not yet seen Rogue One. That's true.
Oh, maybe it's a cool blaster. Maybe she's like, the XP Nubian 327. All right. I don't know.
My thinking was that it was the same blaster design as whatever Cinta had. And
all right, wait. Araj has sent me something. So Okay, yeah. So it's okay. Yep, this is very informative. Meme I just got sent. Yeah. So he took it from Cyril, and then went to Eldani, and there's a scene with that guy that ended up being bad. He says corporate issue, interesting. Yeah, and then it shows him giving it to what's the guy's name?
Melshi.
Melshi. It's like I said it a second ago. Yeah, so that's why she looked. That was my big mystery. Was like why?
Oh, okay. So maybe the guy cousin told her on Aldani. You know, when he was going through his stuff, because she's the one who told him to go through the stuff. Remember?
Yeah.
Cassian's like, "Why are you going through my stuff?" And he's like, "Take it up with Val." Or whatever.
James Waterman. I like it. This is what I like about Star Wars fans, because sometimes I like a bit of pettiness.
We've been arguing about Blister for 15 minutes.
No. James Waterman, like, there's this really, it's this cool thing, this link with this blaster and stuff through the 2 seasons, and then James Waterman just out of nowhere, bang, sequel trilogy, uppercut. I love that we get this about Andor's random blaster, but we can't even get how Maz got Luke's freaking Skywalker's lightsaber. I love it.
I have a cool comic where Maz gets the Inquisitor's helmet, the Grand Inquisitor's helmet.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know about that.
And it happened. Good times.
Great times. Great people. Great Inquisitors.
That's what I say.
Inquisitors, yeah. Look, those great guys.
Uh-huh.
Which one do you like better? The riot, the massacre, or the Senate?
I think I like the Senate episode better.
Yeah, me too.
The riot was pretty good. That when they were when they were singing that song,
that was great. When it
sorry, the thing about that whole episode was just like, because you're out in that set with all those people, and it was just so rich.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like the singing and the sets and so many like extras and because more extras the merrier. That's what I always say, Corey. What about you?
I say that too. Yeah.
And then just like the emotion of everyone getting like blasted and that sniper, and then that prick Imperial that was just like, it was the best day he's ever had, smirking out the window.
Yeah.
And we're not even talking about Dedra.
Oh yeah.
And just what a dichotomy like Cyril is. Like, are we with him or are we against him?
I'm always against him, but I see what he thought was not what was happening.
Right.
And that's what like triggered him. Not, you know what I mean? Like he has his whatever his code is. And he's like, he even says it earlier. He's like, I'm here to find outside agitators. And then he just tries to beat the hell out of Cassian. But before that, that's what he thinks is happening. He has no, like, when he finds out the truth is that it doesn't matter what these people do, because he's like, these people aren't that, like, they're harmless. Once you tell them, like, we get rid of the outside agitators and they'll just go back to being silk weavers or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But once he realizes that no matter what those people do, they're going to pin it on them and kill them all, is when he flips.
This is interesting. James Waterman says the music editor came on our stream the other day and confirmed they recorded that Gorman national anthem song completely on set in the scene.
Yeah.
Oh, that is sick.
Yeah.
That's just like Marva's funeral, dude. That means they're doing diegetic music. I love that when they go to that, like.
No, but like, so does that mean that all the extras were singers, or like
Well, I mean, it's not like it wasn't a choir. It was like people chanting a song. You know what I mean? Like, that's really cool. Like, they probably just had people and taught them how to do a thing.
I'm thinking of it from a bump level. That's
no, they got a bump for sure.
Is it? That's almost a speaking role, Corey.
Yeah, that's a music bump. Oh yeah.
A sound
I
effect.
had a speaking role on Lightsaber Academy.
That is true.
You should get a lightsaber bump, Sal.
I'm gonna put that in my contract next time.
Hmm.
Question from the back.
Have you heard of a horse bump?
Yeah, I've heard of it,
Okay.
but I don't have a horse. It just does me no good.
Yeah.
Just real quick, like the I love the energy, the way that they've shifted throughout that episode with the riot, because you have all the people and it's a riot and like as it gets tense, the chaos is like just getting crazy. But then when the realization happens and the people figure out what's really going on, then they switch over to the song, and you see like the people sort of unify and not just be angry. And that's when the stormtroopers really don't know what to do, and then it just devolves from there. But like that moment, that switchover that you're talking about, it's a really good moment.
Yeah. I think too, like watching Cyril have that moment of realization as he's walking through the crowd. Like this show does need to win Emmys. I mean, genuinely, like it's insane. Yeah. It really is. And then even like Deidre's realization that Cyril's dead, probably dead. Oh my god! And the K2 units when they come out and they're just busting through the crowd. That was crazy.
They're the worst.
Yeah, they like broke that girl's back and just insane.
I saw they did that quite practically. The girl that got hit up in the air, like that was like a girl on a rope,
a ratchet. Yeah,
she got a bungee bump.
Yeah,
I've had a couple of car bumps, Corey. I don't mind to admit.
You gotta get the car bumps, man.
Yeah, I just want the awards just so they can make like, hey, yeah, it's Bobby I on the phone. Yep, it's me. Yep, I make bad decisions every couple of years, and I reverse the. Yep, it's me. Yep. Hey, make more like really expensive Star Wars shows that are good. Thank you. Bye.
But did you see that?
Say no more, fam.
Did you see that Tony talked about how there was supposed to be another episode in the season that was like just about K2, and it was supposed to be like horror themed, but when Iger got into office, they had to cut it because of budget.
What? When Iger got into office?
Yeah.
He actually said that?
Yeah.
I thought it was like, yeah, I didn't know it was that he said it that detailed. Like I'd read that it was just wasn't like the budget. We couldn't fit it in because of the budget. Yeah. I didn't realize that like it changed because Iger came in. Yeah,
no, Tony Gilroy, when he says something, he says all of it.
He does not care. He's a loose cannon. And it used to like it rubbed me the wrong way at the start. Like when he was doing interviews about Rogue One.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, oh, you're my type of straight shooter.
Yep.
How's the it's quite interesting. Actually, yeah, like what was Bill Burr's what was his character's name in
Mayfield?
Mayfield.
Yeah. Man, I saw one of those scenes the other day. Oh, gotta get Mayfield back on deck.
I know, like, well, watching that episode and like the whole massacre scene reminded me of when Mayfield is like, kills that officer because he has to do something similarly.
Oh, that's a scene I watched. That's a scene I watched.
Yeah,
like,
good.
Yeah. Oh, well, that is the great Mayfield scene.
Yeah, that is the
yeah.
Until
we get another one, that's the one.
Right.
He was
right.
Cool.
You can't wait for that. Come on, Steele. When we get that Mayfield scene in Mando and Grogu, you're gonna love it.
I might do. You've like if they announced that he was co-starring, I'd be like, oh, this could be really interesting. He was such an interesting character. Pretty much just playing himself, but
yeah, he does that. He's good in everything. Like I've only seen him do that, and he was like he did the same thing in Reservation Dogs. He's just kind of himself.
Yeah,
he's just really good at being himself. in these really, and they use him in these specific ways where like himself has a really good moment, and then you're like, damn, that was really good. Like that was amazingly what the show needed right now. That was an excellent use of Bill Burr.
The a good burring. The
Wow.
actually, I'll tell you a Bill Burr story. Right, he my friend Nick Cody was supporting him in Sydney, and it was Jackie's birthday, and she loves Bill Burr, and so we flew up to see him. And so because of Nick was supporting him, we went to the after party, right? Because it was at the Sydney Opera House, and after the show, Bill Burr like greets everyone, right? And the person before us, I think, was taking too long, or was just like, I don't know, just killing the vibe. And so Bill Burr sort of didn't give Jackie like that much attention. And she's sort of like, oh, yeah, yeah. And, you know, so then at the after party, we snuck over to Bill Burr when Jackie wasn't like looking and said, oh, hey, so can you do this prank? Like, and so he goes up to her and just goes just out, like, so Jackie's sort of bamboozled that he's walking straight to her and goes, oh, hey, you didn't like the greeting afterwards, huh? And like just like cuts a promo, like, what do you want, to get down on my knees, princess? Like, just like, oh, it was, oh god, it was so good. It was so good.
Jackie's like,
Yeah.
Oh man,
Poor Jack.
god, it was
right. Good old Hollywood prank. Good old Hollywood Steele pranks.
the but the thing with Cyril at the end, at like, he sort of comes out after, I don't know, it's so like he sort of sees that he's been duped, but he just, so you sort of feel bad for him, but then he's constantly like, you know, like you want him to confront Deirdre, but then he's just like,
Well, he
so
does.
you're sort of like, yeah, and then you're like, yeah, but not like that, like, don't. And then he's out there and you feel bad for him again. And then he sees Cassian and it's just like, oh yeah, no, you got to go, guy. Like,
Mhm.
and then at the end, you're like happy to see the mayor or whoever that guy was.
The French 19th generation house spider box.
He suddenly decided that maybe peaceful resistance wasn't the way.
Yeah, he's had a year to think about it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I thought that was really good, and I love the energy of like, wait, who are you? Like, it's like this is the dude that held him up, but he never even looked at his face. Like, Andor had the gun to the back of his head. It was like, all right, count to 20, punk, I'm out. You know, like, and he's been on him ever since. And then he finally gets to him, and he has this face off because he's like lost everything at this point. Cyril has. But now he sees this outside agitator that was the beginning of all of this.
Yeah, it changed his life.
And then he's like, it's okay. Like, I can't do anything, but I can take this punk out. Like,
yeah.
And then he almost does with his like rage powers, with his Wolverine Berserker fury.
I love the moment where he just drops, or slowly starting to drop the gun with the realization that none of it mattered. Like, even that didn't matter.
Yeah.
Because that's just like Cyril's world is broken over and over again. But also, like, his mom, that sequence where she's just crying, that was
brutal.
Brutal.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Because, yeah, like the mum wasn't evil. She's just like, no, she was just
yeah, I know.
She was sort of just an overzealous mum. Like,
yeah.
I mean, she kind of.
I'll be real though. Every time she's like yelling at him and making him feel small, I was cheering. For 2 seasons, I was like, "Aha, yeah!" And then when he was like choking out Dedra, I was like, "Oh, okay, this may have had a bad effect after all."
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it was funny to see her bully him constantly. Not because it was the best choice, but because it was entertaining to me on a television.
Yeah, exactly.
What else is happening? I loved I don't know what episode it was in, but one of my favorite things, just to make it a full-bodied Star Wars.
I know what you're going to say.
Say it for me then, Sal.
The bellhop.
No, I do love the bellhop.
I thought that's where he was going.
I do love the bellhop, and I do want to bring the bellhop up, but the Force healer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Like, I just love that, like, because it's covered that other side of Star Wars so good, but then just to acknowledge the Force in that way, and sort of, add a bit of a Will of the Force vibe to Andor's, like, to talk like I'm narrating a American Idol show, his journey. I love it how they say that on my journey. And now normal people talk like that about their journey. Oh,
no, only where we live.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, only people who are getting dialogue bumps talk about their journey.
No, people on Instagram love talking about journeys. Oh, their journey.
Localized.
It's a certain type of window. That was a really great scene, especially because, like, so at first I was like, is this an insinuation that Cassian's Force sensitive? But then I realized what, like, she clearly saw what happens to him, and I think that was that moment of, at least knowing that he's meant for a bigger thing in his life, and the rebellion's key to that.
Right. Well, this is interesting. Age of Grogu, who's back again. Good to see. The Force user also put clarity into Bix as well and helped send her on her path.
Yeah.
So it was sort of like that Force healer saying that in front of Bix is what freed up Cassian to fulfill his destiny and change the galaxy. So that's sort of like, you got to give it up to that Force. Hey, how about the Force? Let's hear it for the Force. Hey, in the chat, give a little thumbs up on the YouTube just for the Force. Say this one's for the Force. Yeah, because I had a similar feeling on the first episode of The Mandalorian, where it was like, this was awesome, but where's the Force? And then at the end of the episode, you get your little baby Yoda, and it's like, this is how you include the Force in it. And it may have got a bit misused along the way, but anyway, how they gave that little tip of the hat to the Force.
Yeah.
Gilroy.
And I also like how much it like he doesn't put much stock into it at all, and like, but whether or not he does, it's not like important. It's still like, whether he believes it or not, and whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter, because either way he's still like fulfilling his destiny, and he goes on to have the journey that we all know, except for Johnny G. But I like that all of these things are put into place to add that depth to the galaxy, but they don't necessarily like he doesn't personally and it seems like Bix went the other way. Like, it really inspired Bix to know what she had to do. So I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff there.
I must say too, so I used to work front desk at a resort, and the front desk hotel man,
so can I ask a question first?
Yeah.
Did you ever give someone a room key or something, and they go, I hope it's good, and you're like, vacations are built on hope, or something like that?
If I still was working at a hotel, I would take that. I would do something like that now, because I'm like, there it is. There I am, Star Wars.
There I am.
This is my hotel representation Yeah. Yeah, he's
Well-
cool, right? Rebellions are built on hope. That's right. It comes from the hotel front desk workers. Remember that every time you check in.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
And in this instance, he's not wrong.
So apparently, Tony Gilroy's son came up with that line. Like because apparently he's like a mad Star Wars fan, and he said, "Oh, where does that line come from?" And Gilroy's like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, it gets said in Rogue One, but where did Cassian get it from?"
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how it got written in, which is pretty.
Tony was like, "I got you, little one."
I don't know how old he is. Like, I don't know if the kid's
okay.
like 7 or 29.
No, it's
Right.
like a 20-year-old.
It could be my son. I got you, little one.
Oh, this is fantastic. Josh Chapman says, crazy that it was just on the Bellhop's cat poster in his office.
Mm-hmm. Like in Comic Sans.
Comic, what's the stupid type in Star Wars again?
Orabesh.
Orabesh. How did I forget that? Yeah, Comic Orabesh.
You're gonna lose your shield check. You're gonna lose your shield bump.
No more shield bumps. Do you remember when
no.
Speaking of shield bumps, do you remember a couple years ago when we talked about being on Obi-Wan and we had this one like just crazy spam commenter just keep like relentlessly being like, I Lucasfilm must have paid you so much money to talk positively about this show, this and that. And this this was before we like had said we were on Obi-Wan. But I remember making the joke to you that I was like, oh, little do they know that we were paid by Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
Project. Yeah, very good.
I don't remember the guy.
Yeah, relentless.
But I do remember the joke about the guy.
Yeah.
I'm just giving him the full Cyril treatment. It's like,
Right.
I don't remember you.
Who are you?
But I do remember the fun we made of you.
Yeah.
I've got my Obi-Wan check just up here on my wall, actually.
Wow. Nice.
Oh, the zeros.
So many.
Hey,
Normally they're in the back though.
do you still get residual checks, Corey?
Dude, no.
What?
Do you? You do? Yeah. Well, you get them every week?
Every quarter?
Every quarter. Yeah, no. I get them personally delivered by
Kathy?
Bob Iger. No. Bob Iger. You get Kathleen. We get, two sides.
Yeah, they divvy up those checks. One person doesn't carry them all. What are you guys thinking?
Right, exactly.
Bobby carries 50. Kathy carries 50. Yeah. They even have to call the other people. They call up like George and they're like, hey man, like it's it's
right.
The end of a fiscal quarter. Can you carry 50?
George goes to Sal's house. This is how it's all divided up.
Well, he's like, okay, fine, I'll carry 50, but I'm only going to Skywalker Ranch, and then they just give him to everybody that has their address there.
Exactly.
What did you think about like the weird real world in-universe world of, because they want Rebels to line up with Andor in the canon, that the Rebels have to be seen to be putting out publicity information about their rescue of Mon Mothma? Like, how they had to say that Gold Squadron, and it's sort of like, oh yeah, they've got to put out this fake
they want
story.
you to make another speech.
But it's like, it's like, why do you have to do that? Why do we have to say that? Well, because there's people watching this, and we've got to make the cartoon version of us match the, Draven didn't go into it that much, but he should have.
Right.
It also makes sense when somebody gives like a big statement, or something. There's usually multiple different iterations of that statement made, to different news outlets or what have you. So I kind of just viewed it as that, where it's like she's making multiple statements against the emperor, or like further, expanding on her thoughts on it. So I think it was a real like clever way of tying it in the sense that like the rebellion would want their own version of it out there too.
And I also like the idea of like, we've already seen that the Empire is trying to take control and capitalize of this, like the spin of the news and the Ministry of Enlightenment or whatever it is. And then like you can see a couple of years later, the rebels are like, well, we need to make a bite out of this. Like, so we're going to have Gold Squadron bring you in, boom. You're going to make another speech, boom.
Exactly.
One of your pirates is going to fall down and hit their head, but that's okay because Ezra Bridger is going to fly that Y-wing.
Yeah, I loved being able to watch that episode, and I like immediately watched
Same
Creeper Cargo
right after.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, it fits in so well.
Yeah,
it's like I do think it's funny that like the in-universe, like, because it made the rebels sound out to like seem like a bit like it's a bit lame, but like it's just funny. It's for this reason, so it all connects. But it is cool they went that extra mile, like, and sort of massaged it. And like, I wonder with that how the process is of like coordinating that. Like, when do the writers sort of go? I'd love to know about like the process of how they massage that into like so it fit with the cartoon.
I mean, I think it's some. Yeah, go ahead.
No, good.
Like because I know in the credits it's got like law consultant Pablo Hidalgo.
Yeah, I think they're just there to say like, well, this is what we have. Like, this is what this is. So, okay, you're doing this. Okay, well, maybe that can roll. Like, I think it's little things like that. Like, okay, well, this is what happens next. Or, oh, that droid was actually this droid. Or like, okay, you can use this world. I think like all of, I don't think they're really sitting there like, well, make sure he says this. It's Phoenix Squadron with 2 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're just like, okay, well, if you can incorporate this, cool. And if not, then, you know what I mean? And I think it just works out well when the creators think of creative ways to link those things together. Because I think
you like it. You like it when the creators are creative.
Yeah, I like when they creatively solve those bridges to each other.
Sounds like they're overstepping the mark to me, just quietly.
See, I wanted to, since it was the last season of Andor, kind of elevate it a little more. So me and my friend, we've been watching every season of Rebels the same week.
Same year?
Same year,
nice.
Yeah. And it's been like really cool. Yeah, it's been awesome. So
that's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Lizzie said she's trying to say hi in the Instagram chat. So hi, Lizzie.
Hi.
Oh yeah, here she is. She says, "Sup, broskies."
Oh yeah, so cool. That's awesome. And there are always things that I think about, like, because in the episode with Mon Mothma in Rebels, she's like, "I heard your speech," because Ezra is one of the first ones that makes the speech that sort of starts letting all the different rebel cells know that there's other rebel cells.
Yeah,
and that's when they start to like unify. But they don't get very far because then we see them fighting each other on Yavin a year later.
Yep.
But like little things like that are like super rad. And then I also think about how Cassian breaks out of this prison and has a huge riot, and some of that like story spreads and has like an impact.
Right.
And then we also find out that like Ezra's speech that got broadcast, his parents were also in prison and they heard it, and there was a big breakout, but they didn't make it. But like this is happening all over the galaxy, and I love that.
It's the way that they connect it all has been really good. I also like the episodes where Saw, I think the season 3 episodes, he has that little laugh. It's just like, now it all makes sense to me. Like
yeah,
it all makes sense.
Because he's huffing.
Yeah.
He's on it. The wait there. I'm just looking at my. All right, I've done everything on that one. The Make It Worth It. Andor to Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
Just good.
Very good. Yeah. I think like I just the whole moment where they've got like news broadcasters too, like the droids that are broadcasting the news.
Yeah.
It just makes it feel even more real too. Like it's like people are watching this in real time as it's like
Yeah.
developing. That was a cool touch.
And I
It's
love the way that sort of has, like, a lot of that stuff that we've seen in canon sort of has spread out from Rogue One. Like, rebellions are built on hope and all that.
Yeah.
You have, like, in a lot of the, like, there's like the 40 points from a certain point of view books.
Yeah.
And there's a few of them that are about, like, journalists and trying to make stories and, like, get these sound, or, like, whatever. And, like, one of them who's on Hoth is the one that, like, she's like, oh, she's the one who was at that meeting with Rogue One and actually she's the one of the footage of Jyn Erso saying rebellions are built on hope. And that's a thing that, like, got huge and inspired more rebellions, and people joined the alliance.
Wait. So people watched a hologram of that?
Yes, of that moment in that meeting of Jyn Erso. And so, like, more people were inspired to join.
Is that in a comic book or something?
It's a book, yeah.
A book,
and that journalist is at Hoth, and now she's waiting to talk to Luke and Leia and Han and all that. Like, so I like the idea of how they're, like, building a little bit more of the, like, propaganda, and, like, how these stories spread amongst these rebels. That's kind of cool.
Do you reckon they've got someone uploading to TikTok?
Maybe.
The Star Wars TikTok. I'm sure that exists.
Yeah.
We'll see it at some point.
It's Mon Mothma being like,
exactly. Yeah.
No empire. Not today, sucker. Andor said, make it worth it. And she's like,
that's what they put out. That's what the Empire puts out. So, like, what's really happening?
After Alderaan gets blown up, Leia puts out an edit of Imagine.
Oh my god.
No, see, that's why we like those ones. Her video is the opening to Squadrons. Hers is pretty rad.
See, I'm starting to take Sal's advice years later and, like, actually read all the comics and stuff. It's bangers. There's some, like, absolute
There's some
bangers.
great stuff.
Yeah, like this new one, like Mon Mothma's in it a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
She's in the I don't know if
Hera's been showing up in those ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
There's some good stuff.
There's, like, more stuff to if you like Mon Mothma, there's a lot more.
They just restarted the series, and right now the number one, it's after Jakku. So we're finally in post Return of the Jedi, post Jakku times now. So it's
took a decade, but we're there.
Yeah.
Oh, Corey, you took the words right out of my mouth. Man, 10 years ago, I would have stepped over Corey to find out what happened after Jakku.
Right.
You
would have knocked him out and got a stunt bump.
I would have pushed him out of the way.
Pull that comic out of his cold, dead hands.
The editing of that the Bix hologram with going back and forth from him watching it to reacting to it to her recording it. Oh
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. That whole, and I love the way that Herster, because, like, it would have been real simple to be like, well, how are we going to kill her, guys? You know what I mean? Like, simple and all these story decisions that, like, everybody on YouTube, no offense, makes. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of energy into where everybody thinks they know what's happening because they've already seen Rogue One, except for I forgot his name. G.
It's also nice to see like a lady that that can't be in the future episodes, like, not get killed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because I mean, I didn't even think about that as a possibility where, like, she leaves to help, push Cassian. So
that's because you didn't account for the Force heal.
Right.
One of the best new characters in Star Wars.
How did you miss that one, Corey?
I
you haven't read enough comic books.
Exactly.
Step it up, man.
Johnny G's asking for no Rogue One spoilers, everyone. So let's.
That's fair. That's fair. It is.
Wow. Johnny G is about to have quite the Tuesday night.
Look, like, for all of us that are going to be at home watching that finale and then roll straight into Rogue One, he might be doing it for the first time.
That's exciting. Like that's
kind of cool.
He's-
that's really cool.
No, he has seen it. As Harry would say, you've been trolled. You've been trolled. Oh, yes,
Right.
you've been trolled.
Well,
Reported blocked.
yeah.
Okay. Age of Grogu says, I always felt Bix would live, not just the way she left Andor that threw me.
How are you guys
and then
liking?
Johnny's adamant that he's seen Rogue One.
I've seen Rogue One.
Right. Well, I don't know.
Hey,
if we believe him. We're gonna have to quiz him.
Johnny, Corey wants you to prove it. Send a photo of you watching it, please.
Whose
Watch
blaster
it.
was that? Johnny G.
Exactly.
Yeah, prove it.
This is a horrible theory. Bix finds a nice place to hide out on Alderaan.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
wow.
rough. Yeah. I like.
But Johnny
really
says his mum hasn't seen Rogue One,
Amazing.
which seems like a really bad schoolyard taunt. Your mom hasn't seen Rogue One.
Your mom hasn't seen Rogue One.
You got me.
How dare you? Did you ever talk about my mother?
I mean, for Christmas time, show her Andor leading into Rogue One.
My mother's read all the comic books, so you get out of here right now.
This is interesting. Spineless Oaf says, I genuinely felt that the third arc served as the Andor series finale. It effectively concluded all the preceding 21 episodes. I think tomorrow is a Rogue One prequel movie.
Yeah.
Well, to me, that says like, if the second ending was so good, how good's the actual ending going to be?
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah.
To be fair, you love that Narkina 5 stuff more than the actual finale of season 1. No.
True.
So you might be on that same boat this season. Because I'm thinking now, like, what's next? And for me, the biggest things that are left untied is it's got to be the discovery of the secret weapon.
Yeah.
Because Rogue One starts with them trying to figure out, like, that's what they're trying to figure out. And we haven't, like, we know they're building it. We know they just destroyed Gorman people, so now they're going to have focusing lenses covered in calcite or whatever. So when are we going to get Saw's people? Like, because Saw's after it already. We don't know. We haven't seen it in this show yet, but he's already after it. He just tried to eradicate an entire species of Geonosians a year and a half ago.
That did happen.
But, like, he already knows something's happening, but he just can't find the evidence until Rogue One. So, like, are we going to see him get closer and closer? Because I think that's the only thing left that's untied.
I have a feeling this is going to be the ending for Luthen, for where I feel like he's going to be the one to find that out, but he's going to die in the process. But telling Cassian about it, before.
No, I want the series to end with Luthen sending Cassian a Bix-like message, and Luthen's just gone off to.
Luthen's like, I'm gonna walk away. Never mind. Remember 5 years ago, Lonnie? It's just a message to Lonnie. He's like, Lonnie, remember when I said you couldn't walk away because you were too valuable? My bad, Lonnie. My bad. You should totally walk away. You know what? This is really risky. I'm actually gonna walk away myself, Lonnie. Don't you worry about me. Don't you dare send a Cinta to Uber me home, Lonnie. You were good. You and your kid and your wife, who I kind of did lightly threaten 5 years ago. I feel really bad about it now, because I feel your pain. But I too am going to walk away, Lonnie.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that Lonnie guy? You reckon he's getting through it, or what? Like,
I reckon he doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, I think he's going to be on the Death Star. I think that's
maybe right.
Might be.
Well, I mean, like, character-wise, if we like plot point-wise, I think the Death Star is the big thing that hasn't shown up in a big way in this series. Character-wise, I guess we have Cassian moving into position, Mon Mothma, Luthen, like you just said. I would say I feel like we should see more Saw. I feel like we should see Saw getting to that place. And then also we still haven't wrapped up, like, Bix is gone. If she doesn't come back, I guess I understand, but we kind of got Willman. who is
yeah.
also in this gray place like Cassian, kind of moving back and forth between the extreme people and the chiller people and the force healers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you also have, if we get more Krennic, because if this last arc is Death Star heavy, we could have a little more Krennic.
Yeah, no.
A little more Krennic.
Krennic hasn't had his time. Like he needs.
Yeah.
He hasn't had his like it hasn't been like it's been delightful, and every time he's in the room, you're just like, oh, but he hasn't had his moment yet. Isn't there a line? Is there a line from the trailer that hasn't been used of Krennic's yet?
I can't think of one.
Where he's
We
like
got
saying,
"What a wonderful party." We got that one already.
oh, yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that was his like cool line, and that's what he said after he got yelled at by a senator.
Dude,
that was hard though. When she was like, "Oh, it's so good to see you outside the witness box," I was like,
oof.
Got him.
That gif
Yeah.
with the kid walking past.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
I got you.
I wonder if we'll get Galen.
I mean, if we're getting Krennic and it like ties into Death Star stuff, it's a possibility, right?
No, Galen's gone.
Not yet.
Yeah.
He died.
What?
He's not gone. He's on Edu,
Yeah.
presumably.
No, but why he's hiding.
He's not hiding. He's coming up with a plan.
Oh, he's yeah.
Ah, yeah, that's right. Because he's been with them the whole time. Yeah. I forgot
Yeah.
that Rogue One started like 10 years in the past or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm getting laughed at in the chat. Very upsetting.
Oh right, we still have a Jeddah to get to.
Yeah. Those are the big pieces, I think. Like to set in place. Because they already know Saul's like, even, she's like, what, you can't find him? And they're even like, no, we know where he is. We just need somebody to get us in there.
What about, I guess Luthen's got to go. What about Claire? Can't we give Claire
Right.
I think she's as far in as Luthen.
Yeah, but let her get out.
Leia's gonna be like, you can't walk away from this, Lonnie. He's like, I thought Luthen was gone.
So the thing with that guy, Lonnie, I haven't. Hey, where'd Corey just go?
I think Luthen got to him.
What happened to Cornelius? Yeah, what's that guy's name? The Imperial that's a spy?
Lonnie.
The thing I hadn't even thought of until you just mentioned him before is I always see him as like, oh, yeah, he's a rebel. But it's like he's just an Imperial that got tricked. Like, do you know what I mean? Like on the way up, he's someone that. Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah, he was like a lower. He was like, we've invested too much time in you, Lonnie.
Sorry, my laptop died midway through.
Yeah, but like he's not really. He's just like Deirdre. He's just like he had sight. He was all about it, and then he sort of got hoodwinked with some information, which helped him. Because they sort of mentioned in the first season that he gave him information that helped him rise up the ranks and stuff.
Yeah. But then as he also wrote, like his life, like this was presumably he's been on the take for for his whole career, right? Because it looks like they're like, well, now you got a family, you got to watch out for your kid and your daughter. Do I?
Your Luthen impression's pretty good.
It's not bad. All right.
It's got that the whole speech.
Do the husk. Yeah, do the whole speech.
The whole speech.
What do I sacrifice? What do I sacrifice? Peace of mind. Peace, kindness, empathy, loneliness. I'm waiting for a sunshine I'll never see. Something like that.
There it is.
There's cheated weapons of my enemies against them.
Years ago, during some Comic-Con, me and Dominic Jones, the Star Wars Underworld, spent a good amount of hours trying to memorize that entire speech in a hotel room. It was very funny.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't, but it's been transferred to Sal.
I'll have it ready for the next time.
Perfect. That'll be the big finale.
Yeah. I'll hang outside of elevators and talk to people when the elevator opens. Just,
Yeah.
what's going on, San Diego attendees?
Exactly. That'd be pretty great, though, to be honest.
Yeah. Only when it goes to the basement.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, why is it going to the basement?
What are you talking about?
It's a really funny bit where I'm in the basement dressed as Luthen, giving the speech to anybody whose elevator opens in the basement.
It's part of the experience. Maybe Celebration Los Angeles.
Yeah, Celebration LA.
Yeah.
The basement of the crypto arena or whatever the heck it's going to be called then.
It's got to be the second level parking level in the hotel or something.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, keep it real.
Yeah, not the first, but the one that no one goes to.
Yeah. But I need you guys, like, Corey's got to be in there, like, getting out when somebody gets in, and he's got to hit the B2 on the way out the door.
Right. It's going to be.
And that way they get in, and they're like, it's going to the basement. I was going up. And then they go down, and then they just get stuck. It's like a Japanese game show.
But what you have to do is, like, maybe if someone's got their... Oh, no, it doesn't have their name. We need a way to find out about each person in the elevator's families.
Right.
So you can lightly threaten them as well.
Yeah. We need
exactly.
So Corey's got to like get the snap, and then you've got to like real quick. They got to like get up their Instagram and be like, oh, they were just over here they're here with their wife and their 2 kids. They're on vacation from Florida. And I'll be like, I want things over from the Sunshine State. No, wait, that's our state.
Yeah.
Which Florida?
No, I would just I'd have to get another job at a hotel, and I would just be the one to.
Yeah.
It's really, this is going to be
That's
really
better.
intricate.
No, you're onto it. That's right. That's what you need to do. So you need to start applying now.
Right. Yeah.
So that way, in 2 years, you'll have that spot. You'll be at the door, and you'll be like, "Yo, dog, I'm sending him down elevator 3."
Exactly. Yeah. This is going to be very elaborate.
It
might actually happen. We might do this.
Yeah, when you put the spider on the desk, I'll know to go down to the basement.
You'll know, yeah.
And a week before, when Corey tries to pull out of it, Sal will be like, "We've invested too much in you, Corey.
Exactly.
Invested too much time in you, Corey." Corey's like, "I don't know about this. It seemed funny on a podcast."
I'm about to get a raise.
Yeah,
I can't
they're
afford
making
getting
me
fired.
assistant manager. Like, it was all funny when I was making minimum wage, but now I have health care.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, this isn't something you could just walk away from, Corey.
We don't just.
I'm sorry,
we don't
Mr.
just play
Wolfpack.
Star Wars. We live Star Wars. It's
Well,
tomorrow night. What are your hopes and dreams, Sal?
I think I laid them all out. I think the Death Star is what's left. I think my hopes and dreams are Saw. I want to see where Saw and Mon get to. I guess Luthen is the big question mark.
Yeah.
And then just seeing Cassian take those next steps. Like, we know where he's at, but he's kind of already almost there. But now he's both feet in because he's got nothing. He's got both feet in and his best buddy. So yeah, I mean, and I am curious about Wilman.
Yeah.
If he's going to be any part of it too. Like, those are the newer characters that I'm invested in. But really, like, I think Saw, the Death Star, have to be the big piece that we're missing. What
about you, Corey?
Well, speaking of Wilman, I had a really interesting conversation with Zoe of Geek Girl. She was telling me about how, like, there's a big fan theory out there about Wilman being the guy that Cassian shoots in Rogue One, which would be crazy. I don't think that would be the case, but like that's still a crazy thought to think that I mean that would really mess Cassian up. But I do think that something substantial has to happen to a character. I think really leading up to Rogue One, like minutes before, like we said last week, Steele, about Bix dying a couple minutes before. I think that might just be Willman. I think something's going to happen to him to really make Cassian distraught.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Right.
but I I think Luthen. I'm excited to see how that ends, how his character arc ends, if it even does. It might be another situation where he just survives and he can.
I want. Yeah, I think Lucen has to go, but I want Clay to live. Come on, give me hope of a bit of Hoth Clayer.
I could see that. Yeah. Yeah. What else? I want to see some more stuff with Krennic. And because I mean, at this point, it's interesting, right? In the earlier episodes, he's very enthusiastic about everything, but as we see in Rogue One, he is just kind of beaten down over and over again by Tarkin and Vader and all that. So I kind of want to see a more in line with that, but also a big, standout moment for him.
I like the idea that we saw him coming up. So he's like fresh faced and he's like, I'm building this thing. And then like by the end, they're trying to take credit for him. And he's so tired of fighting that he's just like, my achievement, not your, like he's already hit his limit. Yeah. I do like that. And I like where you're going with the Willman thing. But wouldn't it be cool if he's just that dude in Saw's crew with the scout helmet?
That'd be awesome. I would love that. Yeah, that would be.
Oh.
Yeah, I would take that.
That would be. Saw. That's no good. That's no bias.
But let him get off. Let him get off with Benthic or whoever. Which one survives? Edrio. One of the two Tubes brothers survives. Tubes, yeah. It's Benthic because he's the one who's in the comics later. Yeah.
Benthic, two Tubes. One of the Tubes.
Yeah. One of the two Tubes.
Exactly.
Someone that we haven't touched on that I am fascinated to see where they're at. A year later. What's Perrin up to?
I knew I was going to say it.
I think Perrin might be dead.
Newfound bachelor status.
But he's got that whole estate to himself now? Did you see how many landing pads they got?
No, but is he living large or is he in prison?
I think he's in prison, or at least a puppet of the Emperor to speak. I could see the Emperor specifically, giving orders to make sure he talks just smack about Mon Mothma or says the worst kind of things to make her look bad. That's what I think. He's probably a puppet for the Empire now.
Yeah, he's on space Springer, and he's just like, look, I never knew she hid all of this from me. It was happening right under my nose, and I was just paying attention to our landing pads and whatever, and 80 dinners a night, or what did he say? 80 dinners in 3 nights?
Something like that, yeah.
James Waterman predicts that Perrin's dating Sly Moore.
Oh, yeah, he said she's fun.
He did. He
did say she's fun. I disagree with him on this.
I reckon he's in prison. I reckon he's that, because that's a just end for Perrin.
I feel like a connection that could happen is the fact that Mon's friend was killed by Luthen, that they could spin that as well as oh look, somebody crossed the rebellion and they killed them all, and that's stuff that Perrin would be instructed to say.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone would know. I don't think that connection.
Well, they wouldn't know it, no one. They would probably theorize.
They would theorize.
It was the deep state rebellion.
Yeah. I think he was killed in a way that people didn't think he was killed.
I think, but once you figure out that Mon Mothma is a part of the rebellion, that's where they can start really spinning it.
And then you can start applying all kinds of propaganda.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet propaganda.
I've read The Mask of Fear, and it has like Mon Mothma kind of at the beginning of the Empire, and also Perrin is in it a couple of times.
What?
So
What?
it is
Say,
interesting.
wait. Say again. What?
Yeah, there's a book called The Reign of the Empire, The Mask of Fear. It's the first in a trilogy, and it follows Mon Mothma, Saw Gerrera, and Bail Organa throughout the rebellion. So the first book starts like right after the Empire. Second book presumably is going to jump 5-10 years ahead, and so is the next one.
Oh, so
Um,
the book you're reading now is before
book-
Andor.
Yeah, the book I just finished was like right after Empire, like the Empire was created. So yes, 10 years
Yeah.
before Andor, 15 years before Andor.
So
Um,
what's Perrin like in this book? This is
very similar,
fascinating.
very similar. But you can see that their relationship,
Are they getting along or?
they're getting along at the moment, but you can also see that like their relationship just kind of like they're like an arranged marriage, and they're like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes we know each other, sometimes we don't. Sometimes like, you know, we're like almost like they're business partners, like in a weird way, which kind of is what it seems like in Andor too. But there's very much a like sense of understanding of like, you know, a lot of stuff is happening in that book, and he's there for some of it. So it's interesting to see like when he wants to support her, sometimes he does, sometimes, and how he does that. It's a good book.
But it's also cool because if, especially with Bale's character, if anybody ever wants to like know how the death of all the Jedi was spun, this book really,
Yeah.
it's very cool. The way that Bale
Yeah.
like tries to defend the Jedi and
Yeah, it's like a huge part of Bale's story.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
It's good stuff.
I'll have to get King Tom to tell me all about it.
Yeah. It's a turn it for sure.
Good reference. Alrighty. Good times, guys. Good catch up.
Yeah, we're in the final hours of Andor now.
One more BBY to go.
Maybe you can hold hands with me tomorrow, Corey.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys hug each other on the beach.
So how's this Sal? Right. We just worked out that Corey's like 9 minutes away from me.
That is true. We live very close.
He's so close.
So close. I can just extend my hand right now and reach for you. There you go. See? Yeah.
Wait, that way.
Yeah. Wait.
No. Go the other way.
What, this way?
The people just listening to the podcast are missing out on some great visual comedy right now.
Yeah, insane. Andor level, if you will.
No, that was Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah, that's fair.
That doesn't sound like a compliment.
No. Sal, Rogue Rebels.
Check us out at the Rogue Rebels podcast. We podcast about everything. We have been consistently late with Andor, and our coverage is starting this Thursday, probably.
You've been in Japan?
Yeah, we were in Japan, and then we were like, let's just do Underworld, because that's what we're about, and we can be done with it really quick. And we're already behind on Andor, so what's the difference between being behind Andor 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
See, I haven't stepped to the Underworld. I might do that like next week or something.
No, that was the first movie.
Have you watched it, Corey?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, if Corey has
Fortnite.
So did I.
You watched it in Fortnite?
Yes, we got to watch the first 2 episodes a couple of days early on Fortnite, even though I saw one in Japan. It was still interesting.
Yeah, if you ever wondered what a bunch of players like shooting...
And that second rookie move, Corey, I put it on a private match so nobody bothers me.
Oh, that's so smart. See, I should have done that. Yeah.
Yeah, rookie move. Put it on a private match so nobody bothers you. Steele, listen to our podcast. We talk all about it. Watching it on Fortnite, I was worried because I was like, am I just going to be walking around and have to look? You could full screen mode it and everything. It was great.
Oh, see, I pulled a massive rookie move then because I
Mhm.
watched it with blaster fire in the background the whole time.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
So you watched the first 2 episodes like at the drive-in during a war.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a dystopian future we're living in.
Mhm.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I also woke up at 6:50 in the morning for it because it dropped at 7 our time, and so
Nice.
it was really such a trip.
It was fun.
Yeah.
But like I said, the private match is the way to go.
Yeah.
But like I like that because like you're in a sort of theater setting and you're walking around there's stuff and you can mess around with weapons, you can fight stormtroopers, and then there's like a bar, but it's also playing on the TV in the bar, so you can sit in the bar and turn around and watch it. But you can also make it full screen, so it really doesn't matter where you sit. But after you've already watched it, it's fun to just walk around this little theater Star Wars area.
It really
I don't know.
is.
I was having a lot of fun
It
with
was it's like celebration virtually.
Yeah,
while
yeah.
while you're watching this cartoon, someone can just come up and shoot you.
But it's not like it's almost like a lobby. So yeah, they can do that, but it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Or if you're like me, you put it on a private match and don't let anybody else in. That way I'm just watching it all by myself and nobody can do anything.
Very smart move.
Somebody tipped me off on Blue Sky and was like, just do that. And I was like, oh yeah, of course. Easy peasy.
I haven't
What?
played Fortnite in like a year, so I genuinely didn't even know that was a thing.
Wow. Also not knowing anything about it.
Yeah. And then presumably what you
Oh,
could also do is like, I didn't do this, but I was like, what I could have done is made a squad. I could have got Hawes and Lizzie and Zoe, put them in a squad, and then made it a private match. And we could have just watched it by ourselves in the giant theater, which could also be fun.
This is blowing.
I didn't
Steele's
actually
mind
try
right
it,
now. I
but
can see it.
yeah.
It's like what a weird world you guys live in. It's so
It is true. That's what happens when we don't live 9 minutes away from each other.
Here's the thing: when Star Wars animation, if I will take anything. You know what I'm saying? Like at any time, if they're like, look,
Yep.
we need to go to down the street inside a restaurant, it's only going to be at this. I'll go. Anything for Star Wars animation. So like the whole Fortnite idea, very strange, but for Star Wars animation, I'll do it.
Yeah, he's not kidding. He brought us Denny's menus with Han Solo on them back in the day.
It's true.
That's not even animation.
Oh wow, what a time!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is crazy. All right. Well,
Did I ever tell you that I got
yeah, go.
like in trouble? Not in trouble, but the Denny CEO like was displeased with me. Yeah.
Seems very personal.
Yeah. Well, what happened was, oh wow, this might be a next week thing because it's a story, but I'll tease. It's just a little tease.
No, you got to tell us this Denny's thing now.
So I was at this Denny's event, right? This solo Denny's event, and it was like a bunch of like journalists, and then I was there for some reason, and this was at the El Capitan, and they had us try all this different like solo themed whatever, and they said, be genuine with what you think. So
they had the food there, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So where's the nearest Denny's to the El Capitan? Like, where are they cooking this Denny's?
I'm sure they cooked it at the El Capitan like kitchen, but
okay.
Because they had it all out there, and they had me try this like a pancake with like some sort of like the things that explode in your mouth, whatever that's called. It's like not, I don't know. It wasn't like pleasant. It wasn't a pleasant.
Oh
experience.
wait, so it had like the candy that explodes in your mouth.
Yeah.
Pop rocks.
Pop rocks. Yeah.
That was in the pancake.
It was in the pancake. Disgusting, vile, even. And so,
like no, but that is an amazing idea.
You would think.
But it's disgusting. But like if I said to Harry, like, oh, let's, like, he would think that's amazing, but it's disgusting. So it's, but as an idea, like just as a concept to get attention, very good.
Yeah.
But like to eat it, terrible, I'm sure.
Sure. No, yeah. Attention they got. But there was the guy who was going around asking everyone what they thought. I thought he was just like, I don't know, the tester, that gets the notes. No, so he asked me what I thought, and I was very genuine. I said, this is horrendous. Not good. I was very, very, I was very straightforward.
Thanks for explaining the word horrendous to him.
Yeah. And then later on, we were sitting back in the seats of the theater, and they're like, all right, we're bringing out a special guest. It's the Denny CEO. And the guy walking up, it was the guy who I said it was horrendous. The outlet that I went with was taking off of the press list moving forward. So I don't venture into Denny's anymore.
That was a real Simpsons like, you're fired, and for good reason.
Yeah.
Corey, is there anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, I'll be here. Monday nights at 9.
Sweet. What's happening with Noah? Doing anything with Noah soon?
Noah's such a busy individual. I might need you to start reaching out to him. He's just very busy. I texted him the other day, so let's do another one, and he said that we would soon. So soon could mean at some point, maybe.
Corey, I know the feeling, mate.
I know. See, it's happening to me now. And you know what I thought the other day is I was like, wow, look at this karma that's happening. Like, no, now I know. Now I know. It's happening. Yeah, we're gonna do something soon though.
Excellent. Hey Noah. Hope you're good, buddy. Seems like he's having a good time in life.
He's having a great time, yeah. He's a New Yorker. He's in the comedy world now.
In the comedy world? Doing what?
Well, his girlfriend's a big comedian in New York, and so he
really,
he's there. He records all the sessions and stuff, or stand-up times, however you call it.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Alrighty. Well, I think that clearly this episode has gone on
long enough.
So we'll see you next week for when we I mean to bring down the vibe, guys, but this could be it for Star Wars.
Look,
this could be the apex.
As long as there's Star Wars animation, I'm pretty good. But Andor, but in terms of
could be it. Come on, Gilroy. Stay with us, buddy.
I have my comics now.
Hey, it's a Bad Batch series. It's tight, huh?
Yeah, it's the best. The best.
Yeah. I like the art in those.
Oh, yeah.
May that force be with you. Sunday, Monday, Corey days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Corey days. Corey Day. What a day for YouTube. This content is ours. Scoop along with me those Corey days. I'm honestly a really bad singer. It just occurred to me listening to that. It's like, that is... You have, like, such an amazing lack of talent in this area.
It's something to work on.
But you gave it your all.
Yeah.
But did I?
Singing is built on hope.